2021. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. I do have one change down there. We need to move number 4 in new business down below number 9.
Make a motion to move it.
I say.
On number 3, on old business, need to leave that table, so
That needs to take. Okay.
I'll make a motion to keep that table.
Any other changes to
I
the?
need a second.
I second.
I'll just help us cruise along.
Down here in the, to adopt the agenda for changes.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda with 2 changes.
I second that.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for regular board meeting June the 2nd, 2021.
We'll just stand over just a second here.
I need to go back on those 2 votes and see if that was 2-1 or.
Did you vote on those?
No, I didn't get the chance to. I'm moving number 4 to the right.
Yeah.
I oppose that.
And then how about the approval of the agenda?
Yeah, it's fine.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the public hearing and board minutes for June 2nd.
I second that.
And what's the vote?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So we also voted to to table the Graham County Historic Association right of way. What was the vote on that?
Yeah, unanimous.
Hand me one of those pens, please. Thank you.
Okay. Entertain a motion to open up public comment.
Motion to open up public comment.
I'll second.
So unanimous for you.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything to say in public comment?
I need a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What you and I were talking about this morning, does that have to go?
This drainage issue, I think she would want to talk about the addition to the line down in her trailer park.
Mm-hmm.
And all, does that, can that just be brought up in no business there? Because this year, they had already discussed this with Chad before, too. It's adjacent from the drainage issue, but it's
I don't
on the
have no
same
problem
property.
with it.
It's on the same property.
That's
Yeah.
fine with me too.
Yeah.
Just bring it up
I
under
didn't bring it up
business
in
number
it.
2 if that's all
Run
right.
down that way.
Underneath the
Just bring
drainage
it up
issue.
there after 4 or
Okay.
entertain a motion to close public comment.
So moved.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, old business, town hall mold issue update, drainage issue quotes. Did we get any more quotes on drainage?
No, sir, we have not to my knowledge. Just that one quote for, I don't have it in front of me, but
We do know that from that laboratory, you walk into the door in the basement, we dumped that water out of the humidifier there. And that, what they call gray water, it hits you straight, so it is working. The dehumidifier is getting it's nowhere near as musky, nothing, and, don't see no new growth going there, so that is, we have accomplished a great feat.
so when is the O2 people,
They've
done came?
They've
Okay.
done everything ever
Other than
done.
the fixing that on the outside?
Yes,
Just to keep
And-
that-
because when it rains, the water still goes into the basement.
Okay.
And on the dehumidifiers on that side where they're not draining, so you'd have to go down there twice a day to dump them out.
I think we dumped them a few times this weekend.
We did.
Down there.
That's
So,
That's good. It'd be good if that could drain like the other side.
Yeah.
Alright. Number 2 is, Mr. Bo Collins.
I guess just kind of get an update. We're still all on board with going ahead and
Yeah.
fixing the drainage problem.
yes,
I guess one thing I thought about, that's kind of a hurdle if we talk about before we get into it. When we talked about, the town, because we don't know where any sewer lines, water lines, if we dig into one and break it.
Yeah.
I know these boys have day-to-day activities that they're responsible for. Kind of how we're gonna work that out.
we can have somebody with you when we start digging. And then,
And go down a day or two before and fresh mark where we know
Where
where
you know
stuff
what's
is.
there.
And you know as well I do whenever you're out here digging.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be something that'll be missed or you didn't even know that.
because we're still finding
Right.
water lines and sewer lines. So,
I know, but yeah, we'll have somebody.
The only other issue that I see that we could run into would be like with an existing sewer line, drain line, where if it conflicted with the elevation that pipe's gonna have to be in, that could be a hurdle to have to look at. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not like you talking about like, or they might be one coming across the ditch itself.
that may have
Yeah.
reflect the elevation
Yeah.
of the pipe,
Reflect
the
that.
drain.
Where we
Yeah,
couldn't
because-
move that, change the elevation of the drainage
No.
pipe, and you might not be able to change the
Cause
elevation of that.
there's not a lot to play with there in between point A and B.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't have much with sewer
understand,
either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand that.
That could be the only thing really I could see that could throw.
But we'll have somebody
pick
down
up
there
in the
with
whole
you
thing.
whenever we
And it'd be well
whenever you
marked
get
of
started.
everything
Just,
that we do know.
Okay,
just let the office know whenever you get started, we'll get somebody.
okay, all right. Well, we'll kind of go start getting everything ready then,
Okay.
where we can do it as quick and won't keep y'all tied up. Too.
All right.
Sounds good.
Alright, now then, this morning, I met with Miss Roma Gill here, down here, adjacent to, was on the same property of her trailer court. She got a field there that she's wanting to put possibly up to 6 or 7 trailers in there. We, during all the stuff that carried on the redoing of the sewer lines and stuff down there, we still offered one sewer tap, right?
And
Water and sewer.
And
One
one
more.
water and sewer tap. I know, that DR didn't connect. So she is wanting a water, sewer line to run down adjacent to her property in order to catch these said 6 or 7 coming. She just needs one right now. but, it'll be coming from county at the lower section, be coming into, lower section of the basketball courts and running parallel with the, existing property line from, Carrington Trailer Court and the Collins, right straight down that line. Chad has spoken with Ms. Collins, and his survey, the only time I've talked to him after I talked to you, would be need to know out there at the pole. We'll have to get an elevation shot out there at the top of the ground, out there next to where your property and your sister-in-law's property starts. Top of the ground there, and because we'll know what our elevation and our manhole and our pipe is, what we would have to tie to. That right there would be, you'd have to know that, because if that's higher, there'd have to be another way somehow, somewhere, But, I told her that I would present it to the board.
Generally, when we do a tap off the main line, it's usually one stick of pipe. So we're looking at, I'm assuming it's going all the way up that fence line, is that correct?
Yes.
Behind those other trailers?
Uh-huh.
So, we can do, because we owe you one tap, that's off the main line, and one stick of pipe. Now, though I think the way that we did when Randy Jordan put in his trailer park out there is that he paid for every individual trailer that was there ahead of time. And then they laid the pipe after we did the main initial drain. But that's what we did before. And I know we owe you a tap, and that's usually off the main.
Can I sound like a smart aleck here? Which I know I come across that way. But he has never done for the town what we've done. He has not put up with the mess that we put up with. So I'm saying accommodate.
We would need to know the footage of how far it needs to go out and see what it's going to cost us. And maybe we can do some cost sharing on that project. And then we'll work with you on the taps like we did with him out there.
We'll see.
You need the elevation from.
Well, from the top of the manhole there that's in the field, I'll show you all right here. This here is this square here is the basketball court down there. And I've done this little offset right here. I'm no drawer or artist or anything. This is that little rolling hill coming down into her field there where she's wanting. There's a manhole sitting down here after you bottom out, go down that little rolling knoll. And then what she's got in mind is her property line will stop right here, is kind of angling trailers. It's just according to their lengths. Kind of like that right there. And the property line being coming down, Chad and had got with her and Jenny and all. It'd be wise to go ahead, because this line here keeps on coming down through here, going on down to there. But it'd be tied on to the sewer right there. Also, the water line is up here in the street, coming there and just make the water to coming that way, back down that property line. That way being, there would be no way of trucks or anything, because it's close to the property line, and there won't be nothing, really banging or pressing down, maybe bursting a sewer or water line. No, but that's. With it, can you give me an elevation shot? Maybe they just turn around there and go set you get your read off of the concrete of the basketball court, and then get me a read off of the top of the manhole there, and then go to far end there for the grass, up to where you cut your grass
Right.
and getting your elevation to top of ground there.
Yeah.
And that way, that county will give me the,
Right.
and all, and this, I'll get with the board up on the findings and everything and be back in contact with you.
That manhole, the line is a lot deeper.
Oh, yeah,
than the top of
yeah.
That manhole.
But see, if I can get this a shot at the top, I've got those on the drawings and inverts and everything. I've got the inverts and then I've got the top of the manhole also,
Right.
and we can tell the,
You can look at it what it's for. Sounds good.
That sound good for y'all?
Whatever he says.
We'll get on that ASAP as soon as I can find out some stuff. I'll let you know.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
y'all.
And Bo, be sure just to contact either Chad or me, and whenever you need something, and we'll go down there a day or two before and
Okay.
mark out. I know you're tired with weather and you're tired with jobs. You just don't function up in Robbinsville.
We're fixing to do a little more.
Ah,
Y'all
But I
think-
wanted to
Appreciate it.
congratulate your boys though on your fishing. You didn't watch any fishing here lately, have you?
Oh, no. Thank you. Yeah, they've been doing good.
They have.
When did he go? Sometime this month, they going to.
Yeah, fish for national championship last 3 days this month.
Were you having trouble?
Chickamauga,
Chickamauga?
Yeah. little close.
Well, wish them luck on behalf of the town.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, see y'all.
Uh-huh.
Okay, number 3 is the,
That's
rental.
table.
That's table.
Mhm.
Number 4 is the golf cart tags. In your handout there, Ms. Davis has,
I found some stuff online and I forwarded it to Sonia and I had her forward it to the attorney. This is what this is just a sample ordinance that was brought up, and not saying that we're doing it, this is just the stuff that, that is expected of us once we get it, is there's permit stickers, there's registration, that all has to be done in the town office. And then your golf cart's gotta be inspected. I'm not sure if it has to be tagged or not, but it's only on town-owned roads and they can only cross a state road. That's the way I understood it.
that's
35
with
miles
speed
an
limit.
hour.
I said with speed limits less than, they can't be on anything over 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And on the resolution, the golf cart registration application, again, that's just a sample, because I was guessing what but it didn't print out, so here it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, well, my page is blank. There it is.
Yeah, we got
You
the,
do have to have that about registration.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I
so
just
they would have
put
to
that out.
register them here.
Let me just run this by. I sent a memo on June 16th.
Mhm.
And I read over the model ordinance, and it's okay, but it wasn't, I didn't believe it was sufficiently detailed. You can do that, but add some detail to it. Then, before you can even get to the ordinance, so you have to pass a resolution, and that's the first step. And the resolution has to mirror substantially what is going to be in your ordinance. So you need to decide both on those simultaneously.
And the gentleman that approached us about this, he don't even live inside city limits.
I thought he did.
No, he lives out there beside Ray Computer.
Which is right outside the city,
See, he'll have to go down the state road to get to.
to even get to the town street.
And they've done warned him.
And he can't be on a state road.
They got him on the bypass, and he said, "Well, I'll get off." He got up on the sidewalk, and that's a major no.
Like I said, I just went through the step to get what information we needed. I'm not saying we're passing it or we're not passing it, but it's just a thing to look at, and like I said, it's just going to be a little bit more work, and it's very minimal on what streets they can even ride on. I mean, like down the bypass, they can't go anywhere on the bypass.
In the resolution, that's number 6, and you have to set forth with specificity where the golf carts cannot be operated.
Mm-hmm.
And anything that the state maintains.
Cannot, which is
No.
Main Street.
And so,
And
and
I was
see,
gonna say, you got Main Street, at least Main Street, and I didn't know about some of your side roads.
well,
Main
all of
Street,
all of our city streets would be legal,
Mm-hmm.
but you couldn't come in, go up here and turn left and go out through there. You couldn't be on that, that's state maintained. Coming up the hill from the school, that's state maintained.
Ninth Street.
Ninth Street is state
We have very
maintained.
minimal streets.
See, the only streets that would be good would be like Jordan Street down on the bypass, Bud Carpenter Drive, Atoll Street, Circle Street, Ward Street, Morphy
Laura
Street,
Street.
yeah, and all those would be the only places it would do, and I mean, you can't get really to unless you were live in the city limits to function as.
Since we
And,
got all of this, I think we should just review this stuff
Yeah.
again.
That's what I
Yeah.
was saying,
What do you
just
think, Sean?
keep
Just
it
review it
tabled
again?
until we.
Because, there's only been one person approach us, and like I said, he has to travel a state road before he even gets to a town street.
I
Which
think
he,
it's a good thing, I mean, it's
Yeah, I mean-
something, you know, that would be,
but it's very minimal streets that they
Service.
could, they can cross a state maintained road, but they can't ride on.
I had one other question, all the blanks in the resolution have to do with the code of ordinances. You have to reference back to the code of ordinances. And I wasn't sure if it was chapter 5, streets and sidewalks, but it has damaging streets, obstructing streets is article 2. Sort of fits there. But also chapter 7, operation of vehicles, and then add a section 9, operation of golf carts. You gotta reference your code of ordinances, so that's why all those blanks are in there, because I didn't know if you wanted chapter 7 or chapter 5. So
So
that just has to do, any blank you see has to do with your code of ordinance.
But I think we should
just
review it
table it till
review it.
August.
to the August meeting.
Okay. Number 5, hometown tax update.
I spoke with him at the festival this weekend and told him we had another one that has left us, no longer worked with us, so we're trying to get, we were shorthanded when he come in last month, and
Or
we just
even
hired a new
Jordan this
person,
month.
and then we had lost another employee, so we're gonna have to hire again, and he said that's understandable. He said he just wanted us to make aware of it, which we are aware of it, and told him we get to it as soon as we can. And he was understandable about that. He just didn't want us to forget about it, so.
I did speak with Chad this morning, and just as soon as possible, he got that, we've got a piece of equipment that can dig it now,
That's true.
and so. He is, Chad is, that's the top of the list there. Okay, number 6, the road improvements to the, Junaluska tank.
To my knowledge, he hasn't got back any more quotes other than the one from paving company out of Bryson. I cannot think of HMC. I think it's HMC paving, and that's the only quote that we got. And they said they're willing to work with the town far as if we can't afford all of it at once or a payment program to do all of our streets eventually. So that would be a good thing to
Yeah,
get all of our streets resurfaced. But he said that, just let them know. And we've Chad contacted WNC Paving, but they've got a big paving job at the state. They're redoing the 4-lane at 28. So, and I think he spoke with the Aldridge brothers, and I don't think we got a quote.
They've not, been able to get back a hold of him.
Okay. So, I mean, we're not in a rush to get it done, but Dr. Kelly's really wanting that road up Gormley Street done.
it is pretty
It is,
bad.
it's pretty bad, and it's been breaking for years. I mean, we run out there and patch it, but in a month's time, the road's right back out, so there's nothing to bind it with. So, let's go ahead, I would say, let's leave it tabled and see if we get any more till next month.
Yeah,
And then next month we'll act on it and then try to get at least that one done.
because it does need to be
Yeah.
done before this winter.
Yes.
You know?
And I think the plants usually close in November,
November, like October.
depending on how cold it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they went all the way almost into December last year. So.
Okay.
Alright, next is number 7, sale of town equipment bids.
Yeah, we'll be, as far as I know, we'll be accepting bids for a 77 Old Town fire truck. 2 backhoes. There's some
TV.
TVs, printers.
Uh,
There's some old copiers,
Exercise chair.
exercise chair, and all of that will be placed in the paper under sealed bids, and we'll open them probably at the next meeting,
Okay, so make the deadline for August.
I would say
for
August.
July 31st.
31st.
What can we do with the old Christmas things that are just sitting down there and they're not really usable?
We can.
I know we
can-
have to auction everything up.
or
We
a
can't
sealed
just-
bid.
Or we can do a
We can
sealed.
actually do it as a bundle, and they get all of them if they want them.
Christmas decorations.
Old Christmas decorations.
Also, you know, the old light pole hanging
Dang,
things.
that's what
that-
you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm talking
okay.
about. So what if nobody bids on them? What then? Do we still have to?
I don't know. If we don't receive a bid on them,
I'll find out.
you find out. But I think you can dispose of them if you don't get a bid. I
Because
think.
the,
I know it would just help for us to keep our new ones better by getting them under that shed.
well, we got, our new ones are inside a secured area. But we made racks and
Oh,
then
okay.
they're
She's talking about
hanging.
the hanging ones.
Yeah,
The displays are also inside store.
yeah.
You don't do it to like an individual who could have voted on it. You do it to like a nonprofit.
You basically, you could give it away and somebody, they could give it for mail or whatever, you know.
Do we need to run this,
And there may be a few more things that we
Or
find
bids.
before we,
yeah,
I mean, little
That's
stuff that
true,
we
because
don't,
there are several things.
before we actually get the final list in. And Sonia probably could send out the final list before we send it to the paper to the board before
Okay.
we
That
need
way.
to,
we have
do we
any
need to
questions.
run the paper for 2 weeks or
Well, just let it run.
just let it
I'd let it
run
run for,
till that
Till our
last
next meeting.
Wednesday of,
I'd say for a
July?
couple weeks, probably 2 weeks before the
July
31st, yeah. Because the paper's expensive. Sorry, I had to throw you under the bus there just a little bit.
It's all good. Alright, number 8, American Rescue Plan Funds update. This is at 92,000, isn't it, Sonia?
That's an estimated amount. We
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
received any funds yet. I'll let y'all know next month if we receive anything.
Okay, very good.
Okay, Elder Branch survey, I've still not heard nothing back from the people in Murphy, that father and son team that's in Murphy.
Yeah,
Uh,
there was somebody else
that was
took the
working
CG
for Curry.
survey. This is took the CG survey, and they said they're pretty quick.
Well,
Yeah.
I think everything is drawn, from what they told me, everything was drawn. They just not got back to me because they've been down in Georgia or something surveying some big property down there.
Because the tax office asked me about it this morning.
Did they?
So, just, if you can, just keep trying to make
Okay,
contact with
alright.
them.
Is there any further old business coming for the board at this time? Okay. Order new business, mayor's update. First of all, our sewer plant kinda broke, yesterday, the evening before. It works on a turntable that stirs the sewer, keeps it from piling up on the bottom. It kind of serves and makes a slurry Well, it functions on a sprocket and a chain. Well, it's kinda got stick on them and the chain broke. And, as normal, previous boards, well, nothing's ever gonna break. We're not gonna have a little old Band-Aid fix to get it back online. We didn't have no extra or whatever. So, we've got a chain from, Wheeler's down here, on 129. He made us a chain and also made us a spire that we can have on hand. That if this happens again, all we got to do is just change the chain. We got that fixed, after we got the chain, about 45 minutes with, 4 of our guys. Didn't have to call in no specialist or whatever. It's back in line and all. That being said, Friday the 2nd, I was up here on a Zoom conference with, our Governor Roy Cooper, Sharon Edmondson was on there, multiple agencies, that work under the governor and all, were present. And there's some money that's gonna be coming down the line that there's not no heavy strings attached to it. That's free money. There's federal money coming down the line. And, on those little handouts that I give you 3. Some of the ones there, like the Nantahala Health Foundation, those are some grants and stuff that'll be coming down the line, for Cherokee, Clay, Graham, Swain, Macon, and Jackson counties, Qualla boundary, and all. One of the big things, anything to do with health, is just about guaranteed some money somehow, somewhere, and all. The governor has got people that's gonna be touching base with us. I got 3 or 4 emails here. But the American Relief Plan is money like, I think, it's projected that the county is gonna get like 92,000. Town will get 92,000. And that can be used for, they got a criteria of what you can use this stuff for, and some advisors that you can call and get some pointers. I did find out during this seminar here that the Zoom meeting, a lot of this money, if you see that you're not going to be using it at the time, you're free. Sharon Evans said you can take this money and put it into a borrowing interest account and be making extra money that you don't even have to spend that extra money on what might be under the 92,000. Another thing I was wanting to bring up to you, McGill and Associates has been working on getting this extra money for the cover our water plant, also our meters and stuff, self-read meters and all. Ask the county if they'd be willing, since the town don't have but like 370 some inside the city limit customers, and they've got over 700 outside the city limit customers. If they wouldn't donate a portion or all of their $92,000 as earnest money to get this said grant that would cover, I think it's $2.3 million to completely redo the total cost of inside that city water plant down there. Along with, the town would need to match some of that, and you could utilize some of that 92,000 as earnest money that you're putting in hand. That's one proposal, and the county is gonna get back with us. On your other handout, if you'll read, look right there, it says in the region. If you look at the map right there, it says county economic status in Appalachia, financial year 2020. And if you look up down there, where Cherokee County, Clay County, and Graham County, we're still at risk in the stress area. We're just right outside of the stressed area, and that is a full thing over the Appalachia region there. It states after turn next by 81 counties are classified as distressed. 93 are classified at risk. 230 are classified as transitional. 12 are classified as competitive, and 4 are classified as painless. This here is just a readout. If you go to your if you go onto your website there, this here is something the state sends out all the time. Just updates on a region and all. And this here is a good handout to kind of see where your neighboring what your neighboring counties and states are looking like versus where you're at locally. The meters, we had this 4th of July hit on the 1st there. We're getting ready for the 4th of July, getting set up, getting bleachers installed and everything. It was also meter time. They will finish up with the meters today. And I can't say enough for our men. They've done an extra fine job being short-handed with us needing to hire someone else. And at this time, that's my update for today. Number 2, finance update.
Okay. I have your budget versus action in your packet. That's for the end of the year, end of our fiscal year, June 30th, 2021. And without considering depreciation, we finished the year. Of course, we're going to still make a couple of more adjustments. I would like to commend the department heads, Lamar Williams, Carrie Stewart, and Chad Carpenter, for helping me get in the numbers, because this year I was able to send the numbers to the auditor last week, which shall be here Monday. So we were able to close out. The only expense that we have pending right now, that I don't know how much it'll be, is the town's attorney's invoices. We'll wait for her May and June. But other than that, the department heads really helped me this year to stay on budget, to get the information in time so that we could have a good, clean audit. And so the general fund right now, before any adjustments, we have brought in more than we spent. We brought in $106,000, $698 to close the year out. And with the water fund, we have brought in $52,615 more than we brought in, more than we've spent, which is both good. Of course, after we do the adjustments, these numbers could change, will change, but mostly I'm very happy with the end of the year report. And the county tax collection, it closed out the year at 98% tax collection, which is an improvement from last year, which was at 96% from the prior year.
When we started, what was our flow?
88.
I think it was 86% before we sent it over to the county. I wish I looked that up.
I know it was rounded.
It was
One of those two numbers.
It was an unacceptable number according to Sharon Headmaster, because we don't want to, we want everybody to pay their taxes, and we want everybody to pay their water and sewer bill. That's all I have.
Maintenance, one position, advertisement. That was for a maintenance worker.
Yeah, I think it's already in the paper.
It's in the paper, there was a verbal vote on that. Debbie and Taco said to go ahead and run the ad, so I ran it for 2 weeks. The application's deadline is July 31st, and then Sean stated that that needed to be discussed in a public meeting. So we're gonna be, posting for a maintenance one position for the maintenance department.
Okay. We moved forward down to 9.
Yeah.
June Luska water tank road repairs quotes. First and Jody Clumps.
And that's basically from the Junaluska gravesite up to the tower. We've been gigged on that a few times with the water people. And every time the road is, you can get up there, but it's rough to get up there. Basically, they're gonna have to do some grading and some other stuff, so.
So we've got 4 different bids here.
Yeah. I think one of the quotes had put in pipe in their quote, so
Yeah,
I don't know what all needs to be done to it. But if the road's fixed, then it won't be, hopefully we won't get gigged on it no more.
I guess I was just wondering why one had pipe and the rest of them didn't. Are we?
Well, they all went up there and looked at it, so.
And was his with the pipe and the, okay, pipe, labor and gravel?
Darren Stewart was the 5 loads of gravel, clear and grade, and that's with them, my understanding, where he would put a water break area in between there, some more. And I'm not sure on this Jody skid steer service. No.
Because it doesn't really say how much.
It just says, bid to repair and gravel the road. So, I'm sure that whatever repairs need to be done is included.
Before we decide on it, can we at least talk to him and see what?
You want to table this to August and kind of get, let me reach out on the ones that we got bids on, turned in and
There's
see.
a little bit of a difference between the prices of them.
We just don't, we want it fixed.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, right. So,
Okay, I'll reach out, and because we really need it quoted kindly with this,
'cause we want to make sure it's going to be fixed correctly
Yeah,
the first time, so we ain't got to go back there and do it again.
and I'm sure we probably need to get it done before the winter months when all of the travel up to it could be bad if the road is not fixed.
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you, Steve.
okay. Maybe a note right here.
Next one is
Meter retracement system with TCWP grant.
okay. I know he's changed. I think he's changed 5, but I don't know. The check marks is the one that's been changed. Or
No, I don't
just-
think so, because she usually writes over here when it's
Okay.
been changed. I just know that we had talked to, we're trying to get that Twilla Creek water plant down. And we've had several people come in and talk to us, and they said that's one of the first things we should, address is that if a meter's not working, then we're giving out free water, and we're not supposed to be doing that. But also, more importantly, we can't monitor that water. So when we report to the state that we can't, account for 50% of our water, we're having to work on this project. So
We'll get, Mayor, I would like to see these completed by next month, if
Okay.
possible.
yeah, some of them's been since
I do
2019.
know that, a week, 2 weeks ago, he got in a new shipment of meat.
Yeah, he didn't have enough meters. So, but he's got them now, so I would say he needs to.
He's done by August.
Well, according to Randy Wells, Keith, Bob, and McGill, they felt like you should keep meters on hand. And the minute you know that meter's not working, you need to go ahead and replace it. Because they looked at this report and they said, well, you got customers on here since 2019, 2020. That's a lot of water that we've been giving out.
And they're just getting billed the flat rate.
They get billed the flat rate. So, we know that, we're told that some of them have to pull. So this year, and last year, maybe the year before, they billed us the pool.
So yeah, I would have him
They kind of do that.
at least get the 19 and 20s done that's on this list before our next meeting.
Alright,
All of them.
I'd like to get all of them
All of
done.
them for next meeting, sure.
I mean, he's working with the,
Yeah, I'd like to see
skeleton crew anyway.
a lot of them,
Yeah.
if not all of them,
Okay.
done by next meeting.
alright, I'll get on there.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, petition for annexation Hackney Petroleum. I need to read this, Miss Ellen.
No,
Everybody
you
got a
need to
copy?
read the petition.
It's based on where, still holding on up now. But
Double brick.
yes, they purchased the property.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if he's wanting, I think it's just the Huddle House property, what he's wanting to annex in. I didn't say nothing about the current property it's on now. But,
I think in old time that the old store down once they get that.
yeah, when I thought,
He attached the deed,
Yeah,
what he wants annexed. And there's a plaque card and slide for it.
okay. Do we have a copy of that?
You know, but I can put, not the plaque card,
Okay.
but I can pull the plaque card for you. But it came from Rack Land Acquisitions, and that's who owned,
That's who previously,
among others owned.
yes. But they could never get everything in
Yeah, they
order,
couldn't get it.
because we tried it once before.
Yeah, he was wanting to be annexed
Uh-huh.
years ago.
And we fought for that for, what, 3-4 months, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And then finally we just dropped it. But anyway, but Acme has bought that from them, and they're wanting to annex that old Huddle House property in the town limits. Well, not inside, annexation of that property. I'll get it right.
that's just a lot more money you can go out. I mean, that's just that much more money you cost. Taxation.
what you need to do though, the date, number 9 is blank, the date of the filing of this petition for annexation with the town. We need to fill that in, what date did Matt carry that over?
It was last week, sometime last week in the last part of June.
But he did email me that he was gonna take it to the town on 6/29, but if that's a date you wanna use, or that he was going to take it to town, I didn't know if he took it.
To get it to me.
Yeah, he brought it in
Oh, okay. So,
in June.
we agree of 6/29.
Okay. Will that be all right with the board? Put
You got the official
6/29 on
copy
there.
of that? You got the official one?
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't vote to annex today, and I explained to Mac, it takes about 3 months. But here's the petition, and then what you vote on today is whether you're going to send your clerk to do the certification. And the clerk comes back, and don't worry, I'll give that to the clerk. but needs to verify the petition, and the clerk returns at the next board meeting with a certificate of sufficiency for annexation by petition. So I will help the clerk with the certificate of sufficiency for annexation by petition. That's all you're voting on today, is to send your clerk to prepare that certificate. And the clerk just verifies, they're the owners, it's property, is it contiguous or non-contiguous? Number 3, I wasn't sure, I thought that, isn't the, former restaurant contiguous?
Yeah.
To the town, so it has non-contiguous here, but I think it may be,
The former restaurant?
oh,
You mean Phillips Restaurant?
No.
I was talking about Hull House.
No, Hull House was not.
It's
No,
not.
it's
oh,
not.
it's not?
Yeah.
No.
They never did finish the
Well,
paperwork.
they didn't finish, oh, duh. Yeah, okay. It is Hull House.
Yes.
I'm
It's
thinking of
Hull House.
Thinking of
something.
another
Yeah.
restaurant.
I was thinking of something.
See, he owns Phillips Restaurant.
Yeah.
too. That's what I was thinking.
Alright,
Yeah, that one is inside the city.
okay. So that's all you do on this one. And then your clerk comes back with a certificate the next meeting, that's all of it. And, you review it, and you vote to either accept the certificate or not accept it. If you accept it, then you order a public hearing for September.
And then it would be,
And in September, you can
okay.
vote at the same time you have a
Because I
public
told them it was a
hearing,
process.
majority vote.
When I talked to the owner of Hackney,
Yeah,
I said it is a process.
and I told Mac it would be 3 months.
Yeah.
Because you just have to jump through those hoops, so. And then your public hearing in September, you can vote at the same time you have, after you close your public hearing. You can vote.
That's what we need to do.
Okay, so the vote today is to
To accept.
accept the
I make a
petition
motion
for the
to,
certification.
And we need to send a vote too on us, the clerk verifying everything, right?
The motion, the only motion today is to accept the petition
Okay.
for the certification by the clerk.
Okay.
make a
Entertainment.
motion
For that,
for the, accept the petition for the certification
I'll second.
by the clerk. And the clerk will have the official petition.
have the
And
official
August
Yeah.
meeting.
certification for
Yeah.
August. I'll go through that. Okay.
So you make the motion.
I'll second.
He second, it's unanimous.
Okey-doke.
Number 8, audit contract.
You know, last year we sent our RFPs out for for audit and for both RTA and the town. And we only received one and we signed a contract for 3 years. This is just an individual contract that we need to vote on for each year. It needs to go to, the board approves it and it goes to the states for their approval.
Even though we're approving for 3 years, we have to do it every year to go,
To show that we got the
yeah,
auditor.
to show that we have an auditor.
And these fees for the audit fee is $27,975 plus out-of-pocket cost an amount of $1,900. And like I said, they will be here Monday. So we need to vote to accept this contract.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to accept the bid.
I'll second.
Unanimous.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to go into closed session. GS statute 143, 318, 11CA3. Can you read that for me?
Yeah, let's see.
The first one is
Pursuant of attorney-client provision, North Carolina statute 143, 318.11A3, and 143-311 AC. Move the town of Robbinsville to go into closed session to receive advice from ML and Daily Attorney and Town of Robbinsville Town Council, which advice comes preview of Attorney Mike Hoover's advice. Be given legal advice and legal issues and legal matters. Make a motion to go into closed.
I second.
Alright. You vote, Sean?
Yeah, unanimous.
This one too?
Yeah.
Oh, and personnel motion.
Personnel motion.
Pursuant to the provision of North Carolina Statute 143-318 AC, I move that the town of Robbinsville go into closed session for purpose of considering personal matters as defined in and allowed in North Carolina General Statute 143-318, 11-8-6, and North Carolina General Statute 106A-168.
Now,
Now,
I second.
Ms. Ellen Davis on GS 143-318-11-CA3. Also personnel matters.
make a motion to come out of closed.
I'll second.
Unanimous.
Out of closed session, there was no decisions made. And I'll get some advisements from our attorney.
We got one more item.
Number, on the resolution, employee paycheck signature approval. What we can just find is on that. Right.
From what I gather is we already have something in place for secondary signatures on the checks. Other than the finance officer, so.
So no action needed.
No action needed. Okay. Is there anything else to come before this board?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.